Good afternoon, and welcome to the Aztec Through Iroquois News Network. I'm your host, Jacob Zavitz. Today we will be discussing the effects that European exploration has had on native peoples dwelling in Central and North America. To give you the scoop on these issues, I'll hand it over to our regional columnist, Luke Bryan. Thank you, Jacob. Luke Bryan here. Yes, the Spanish have had many effects on the people living in Central America in recent years. They've brought over many new diseases like chickenpox and animals like horses, honeybees and pigs. They've also brought a number of tools and weapons, and in general the things that they've brought over with them have affected profoundly every area of our lives and of the lives of the people living here. At this point, I'm not sure whether that effect will ultimately be positive or negative for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. Jacob Zavitz here again. Now we're going to dig into what exactly those effects are. Throughout the age of exploration, the Spanish, and subsequently peoples from other nations as well, brought many animals to North America that the natives had never seen before. For instance, horses, pigs, sheep, cattle, goats, and even honeybees. All of these animals profoundly impacted the lives of the people living in North America. For example, horses. They drastically changed the lives of native tribes that hunted buffalo. Tribes that had access to horses could hunt from horseback, making the hunting of buffalo a lot easier, and also just in general transportation, getting from place to place, was a lot faster with horses. Also, some tribes began raising cattle, pigs, and other things. So all of these animals greatly affected the lives of the natives that used them. But at the same time, these new animals had impacts on the ecosystems and other animals that were actually native to this part of the world. So there was a negative side to it as well. Both sides.
These things that they call pigs are big and fat, and they produce lots, and their meat is so tasty. They stink really bad, and they poop everywhere.
And these horse thingies, they're so awesome, and they make hunting buffalo so easy.
They're gonna trample half the town and poop on the rest.
The Spanish brought us these things called honeybees, and they make honey that tastes so good.
But they sting you everywhere, and it really hurts.
Of course, the Europeans also brought many tools, weapons, and new technologies over that were completely new and revolutionary to the native cultures. For instance, metal pots and pans and knives greatly changed the way that the natives cooked and prepared food. Guns changed the way that they hunted, because they no longer had to use bows. They could hunt animals from further away, and greatly changed that aspect. And also the way that tribes fought. Wars were now fought with guns, so that changes that. And in order to obtain all of these things from the Europeans, native people's focus was partly shifted from gathering and hunting food to hunting and trapping animals with desirable furs, which could then be traded to the Europeans in return for these new technologies. So their lives were very changed in that respect. Finally, one of the most significant and negative ways that European exploration affected native cultures in the Americas was in respect to the spreading of new diseases brought over from Europe. You see, native cultures here had been completely isolated from most of the sicknesses and diseases that Europeans faced. As a result, natives had little or no immunity to them and had no experience in treating these new diseases and sicknesses. Smallpox, malaria, influenza, measles, and chickenpox were among some of the diseases brought over by European explorers to North America. These diseases spread rapidly among the natives and killed, sadly, thousands and thousands of them. Ultimately, they contributed to the death of up to 90% of all native cultures, of all people living here prior to European exploration. So that's a pretty terrible and insane effect of the European exploration.
That's a bit of a rough way to end the show, but the reality is that the native peoples had it tough during the age of the European exploration. What's that, Luke? Tenochtitlan has fallen. Montezuma's dead. The Spaniards have destroyed the Aztecs. Oh my word! This is insane. And our name's changed? Oh, I liked our old name. Oh well. This is your host, Jacob Zavitz, reporting for CNN, Cortez News Network, formerly known as the Aztec through Iroquois News Network. There'll be more news stories coming up soon. I'll see you next time.